Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Coach Tiffany Parra with Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. We are taking center stage today on the Own It Publishing platform, and I have one of my magnificent contributing writers with me. I'm going to go ahead and bring her on in, and we got a wonderful topic to talk about today. Hey, good morning, Coach
Good
Karen.
morning. Good morning. How
Oh,
are
it's
you?
so good to have you today. I just love having you on the show and just love having you in the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics family. It's just great, the knowledge, the wisdom that you drop. And today we are going to hit a topic that is very important out there, and that is the importance of sleep. And I know a lot of us have lack of.
Yes. Yes. Well, first of all, I am so grateful for being here once again, sharing the platform with you on the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine platform, on the platform, just continuing to, empower others and educate others on the importance of their health and wellness and talking about the importance of sleep. There's going to be some surprises. There's going to be some surprises, but it's all going to end on a good note. So that's going to be, it's just amazing when you think about the importance of sleep. And a lot of people, oh yeah, I get a lot of sleep, or I'm up to this time of morning, and I get up 3 hours later, and you're not really allowing your body to even take a moment to just relax and, during that sleep time, replenishing your cells. It's so many things that we do in our lives that disrupt all of that. It disrupts all of that. And, we were talking backstage about the importance of shutting down all technology at least 2 hours prior to bedtime. At least 2 hours.
That's so important. I mean, because you've got that light, right? And as you're scrolling through, I mean, half the time we're scrolling through, and the stuff that we hit is a lot of times negative, because you have other friends that are putting things out there, and just the state of the world today. So now you got the last thing on your mind, and you're gonna be restless, right? I mean, you're gonna you're gonna dream weird, and it's gonna put you in a bad state of mind. I think so. Yeah, that's very important to just shut it down.
Yeah.
Shut down the TV, shut down the phones, and even keep the phones out of the room. I hear that's so important as well, because if you have it outside the room, you're really not going to use it. Even if you wake up in the middle of the night, maybe to use the restroom or something like that, you're not going to go to that. And a lot of times people will. They wake up.
Yeah.
What do they do before they go back to sleep? They look at that. Let me check real quick. Oh, did I get a message?
Look at this real quick. Yeah. You see if they responded. I always tell people, treat your cell phone like a landline. Like you just said, put it in another room or put it across the room. I'm going to go back because yes, we had landlines, and I can remember one phone for a minute, which would have been in between the dining room and the living room. We eventually got one in the basement, one's in my mom's room, but having it, if you treat it like a landline, you're not gonna look at it. You're not anticipating somebody responding. We're not saying don't use your cell phone at all. Don't use it for the doom and gloom of it all. Right. If you're gonna use it and you can't seem to get that landline thing in your head, because there's plenty of ways you can use it positively, so I always think of that too. Yeah, shut it down. Shut it down still, at least 2 hours prior to sleeping. Like you said, TV, all other computers, anything to do with that blue light that can cause all the busyness and the noise. So shut it down. Yeah. And as you can get ready to relax for the evening, there's so many positive things that you can use that phone for should you have to use it. You can, listen to the Calm app, Positive Prime, Bible Gateway, some type of instrumental, whether it's classical, jazz, hymns, anything that relaxes you, even the sound of the water app. I can't think of the app, but there is an app. And I know you mentioned about Positive Prime and the things you could do with that so people can incorporate some of the things that they do listen to that's positive. And just wanted you to share that because that's not only going to be important for their sleep, but it's going to help me too because everything will be where under Positive
It'll all be in one thing, right? So Positive Prime, it is an app, and it's like a vision board on steroids, really is what I call it, because you have 1,000 images that are going, and you can put the images in there, or you can use the images that they provide you. And the images they're actually images that have various colors. They have smiles, all these different things that ignite positivity in the subconscious. So when you start your day that way and end your day that way, it really is going to just help you to get into a good place. Now with the music, you're saying, classical music and jazz and, some of that calm music, even water. You could put your own music and program that into Positive Prime where you have your own music with pictures that you resonate with and have that be what you end your day with, and it doesn't take a lot. I mean, really it's 3-5 minutes, and then just shut it down and you're going to just notice that you'll be in a different state of mind. Your sleep is going to be a lot better as well. I noticed that since I started using Positive Prime and some of the other various things that you can, utilize for sleep, I have been getting a little bit better sleep. I was always told, oh, get that 6 hours. 6 hours really is not enough. I mean, we really do 8 hours. We can get 8-9 hours in.
Yeah.
As close as we can, right?
Yeah. And you just said about getting that 8 hours in or 9 hours, even as I call it, a power nap.
Yeah.
Don't use your whole lunch hour. Maybe take a, 10-15 minute power nap, but wake up to some positive inspiration, music, set that alarm on your phones and you wake up to that because you're still keeping that flow. You mentioned about listening to it at night and in the morning because, again, what we listen to before we go to bed and what we do when we wake up, that's going to be how our day is going to be. It's either going to be on a positive, moving forward note, or you're just going to be not saying you're not going to hit some stumbling blocks along the way, but because of that positivity flow that you have going from that sleep that you're getting, it's just going to be a whole different way of you responding to things. You'll be more mindful of responding as opposed to being mindless. So, just think about that. Think about that, just going to bed on these positive notes and how to just bring everything into harmony when you wake up the next morning and you have that attitude of gratitude. And then your day just, flows through. I'm going to talk about a couple things when you do get that sleep, how it can impact your health. So we have to think about not 3 hours, but we do. Some people say they only need 6, but I feel like you do need more than 6. It's at least 6 to 8. And then if you can, you get that power nap. Even sometimes if you're just sitting at your desk and you're not trying to move around, you can take this, put it on sleep, put the computer on sleep, put your phone on sleep, put your head back, shut your eyes for a few minutes, and imagine, have a focal point that's positive. And imagine you have your eyes closed and you're on a boat.
Right. Yeah.
In the water and you just
find that state. Absolutely.
Right.
So here we're going to cut to a quick commercial break and then we're going to come back and let's talk about the risk factors behind lack of sleep when we come back. We'll be right back, everybody. Okay. And we are back, Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine, and that was Upscale Online Business Solutions. All right, so we are here with Coach Karen Scott, and we're talking about the importance of sleep. Now, we've talked about, turning off the electronics and, really ending and starting our day on that positive note. Now, we want to talk about, what can happen, when you have a lack of sleep and the signs that are there, that are right in front of your face, really, when you are lacking sleep. If you're really just conscious and aware of it, you'll catch it. So I know for myself, I'm just going to go ahead and throw out there, my experience with lack of sleep. I know it's, irritability. I mean, I am just a brat and a half when I don't get my sleep. I'm snappy. Sometimes you can be a little more anxious. And especially like when you're even in a situation that you're normally in, you just feel more anxious and just yucky, or you may feel depressed. And, when you think about today's state of everything, right, there's a lot of people out there that are anxious and depressed. And, they say, oh, yeah, that person maybe has ADHD or something like that. No, maybe they just have lack of sleep.
Yes.
Maybe they're one of those people that only get that 2-3 hours of sleep, or it's just their sleep patterns are all over the place. And even when it comes to the focus.
Yeah.
There
is none.
Like, oh my God, I'm losing my keys, or I'm forgetting this, that, and the other. And you see that more frequent.
Yeah.
Maybe take a step back and say, hey, am I sleeping enough?
Yes. And that's the thing. That's the thing, to recognize these different actions that you have that you may not have. When does it happen? Maybe you have to start journaling. Okay, today, October 31st, I was doing this because lack of sleep or eating things you shouldn't be eating. But with the sleep, I have to agree with you. If I don't get enough sleep, I'm just not doing anything worthwhile, because you do get upset about things and then you misplace things. And it's like, I know I saw this particular item,
right,
but you can't, your mind is so foggy, the brain fog, as they call it. You can't focus. You can't focus because you didn't give your body the sleep that it needs. Yeah. Sleep does a body good. I'm telling you, when my mother used to be taking her naps and doing, I was like, Sunday afternoon after church. Yeah. I started doing the same thing. Even when my daughter was growing up, it makes a difference. And going to bed, like you said, try your best to go to bed at the same time every night. Yes. Most importantly, eating at the same time. Have a dinner time hour. Don't eat after 8 o'clock at night. Right. Because if I miss dinner, then I don't eat after 8, because one, that makes me have to stay up longer. So that, I don't lay down on a full stomach. You got to digest it. And your body's, when it's digesting, it's not going to rest. It's working. It's working. So, exactly. You really shouldn't eat late like that. Like you said, 2 hours before. Maybe even 3. I try to make a habit of that a lot of times. If I eat a little bit later, I feel it. I do feel more sluggish in the morning, or I just don't sleep well. You don't. And that's the truth, because again, if you journal these things and you see when and why it happens, and then you see why it's not happening, because you're probably eating properly, setting a time. I mean, there was a purpose for us growing up, knowing that there was breakfast time, lunch time, dinner time for a reason. So I usually stop what I'm doing to prepare dinner so that we're all eating at least by 6 o'clock. And like I said, if it's after 8, then for me, I'll have to get something light. I can't eat heavy foods, even though what I'm eating is light, but it's still heavy if you have protein, vegetables, and what have you. So, we're telling you all of this because it's going to do the body good. The eating properly and getting the right amount of sleep, but understanding and listening to your body when things aren't working right. Why is this happening? I'm not getting enough sleep. I'm not eating correctly. I'm on that phone, getting that doom and gloom. Because
Yeah.
there's some positivity out there. You just have to be connected with that. So, just thinking about the sleep that we need as adults, as individuals, we do need at least 6 to 8 hours sleep.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, what's going to happen? Physically, when you cut your sleep short, it will prevent your body from naturally healing,
Right.
and it may even compromise your immune system.
That's right.
Sometimes you don't get enough sleep because it's like, oh, I don't feel good. Well, you're probably not getting enough rest. You're not taking care of your body. And your body starts shutting down.
Yeah.
You start feeling bad. Like I said, colds, headaches, just not feeling right. I'll just say just feeling icky.
Yeah.
Just feeling icky because you decided to cut your sleep short.
Right.
So that's the physical. So we got to take care of our physical. And part of that is getting the proper sleep. Energy level. You mentioned it earlier.
Yeah. Your energy's low. I love that you said though, Karen, to have a sleep journal, because that would really help you to just stay on that routine, and you'll know, okay, I ate too late, or I,
Mm-hmm.
went to bed a little bit later than this day. So I think that's vital to have, some mechanism of keeping that schedule, that
Yes.
routine together. And I think journaling is that key right there, most
Yeah.
definitely.
And it just helps you see what you're doing or what you can do better,
Mhm.
because we all can do better. That's part of the life. Every day that we're here, you try to
Yeah,
do better and better. So again, why not have that journal? Because you can talk about your sleep, your eating habits, your exercise movement, even personal stuff, things that you've done that maybe you shouldn't have done, because sometimes we add things to our arsenal and it's just like, do I really need to be doing that? Just taken
right.
away from, because sometimes we're supposed to do one thing and we don't want to do the other. So we do the other.
So we do
And
the other,
so
right.
then you stress out because you should have did that in the first place. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely sleep shortage will sap your energy and your focus and your clarity.
clarity.
And could put you at risk for physical injury. Why? Because now you're not focused, or sometimes people like trip, or you just could just be walking
Yeah,
and then
and
all
you're
of a
trying to
sudden
figure
you
out, like,
lose your balance.
why did you lose your balance, or what, and that's your body telling you. That's a cue, once again, of your
Mm-hmm.
body telling you something's going on.
Something's going on.
You're,
Mm-hmm.
something wonky's going on.
Yeah.
Now, I know, when you look at lack of sleep, and you're talking about the immune system, right? And I know studies even show that lack of sleep can cause, heart risks, and
Yes.
respiratory problems,
Yes.
even issues with diabetes. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that the way that the body works, the way that the body breaks down, your blood sugar and things like that. To think, if you eat something sugary right now, it's not going to spike your blood sugar right now. It's going to spike it like 4 hours later.
Yes. Exactly.
And what does that do when that spikes, right? That brings that
Mm-hmm.
body, you
Your
know.
body's like, ooh, right. Yeah. So it's amazing because everything's connected. And I know you remember that song where everything's connected. That's the truth.
Yep.
Everything's connected. Mind, heart, body, and soul is connected. No matter what you do, it's connected. You know. So the lack of sleep, we talked about this a little bit. It affects your mood and your mental health. There's this thing called, which I just learned about recently, REM, which
Hmm.
is rapid eye movement. So what does that mean? You need at least 2 hours of that type of sleep in order for you to have clarity, for your muscles to be relaxed. Um, it helps with irregular breathing. It helps with your heart. And it helps with increasing your brain activity. As like I said, I just learned this not too long ago. And I said, that does make sense because sometimes when you're going to sleep, you may sleep for a minute and you'll wake up. Some people sleep through the night, some people wake up, but just that importance of those 2 hours because of that rapid eye movement helps with that. It also plays a role in your memory, your emotional processing, and brain development and dreaming. So
Wow. See,
that's why it's important to watch what you're looking at before you go to bed, because those dreams that you're dreaming are going to be the last thing that you saw. So rapid. I was like, rapid eye movement. So that's just part of the sleep pattern. So if you need 2 hours of that, then you need another 6 hours of sleep itself.
Right. So that's where you're getting that 8 hours of sleep, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Relationships and communication. You mentioned earlier, when you're deprived of sleep, how you can get, and I get like that. Like, I just don't want to really talk about it, or short and patient. And I'm sure some of us out there have done the same thing. And if you don't realize what it is, it's probably because of lack of sleep. So
and you kind of figure out, you're like, man, or everybody else is like, why are they snappy? Well, and it's just, it's as simple as just taking a little bit of a nap,
Exactly. So that'll help you be more empathetic when you get that sleep, and then you're more, personal and not taking everything, to heart, or thinking somebody's against you, because start doing that too, because your mind starts to wonder, like, oh my gosh, why is this happening? What are they talking about? Why are they looking at me? What's the problem?
Right, they're looking at me wrong. All right, Karen, we're going to cut to another quick commercial break. And then when we come back, I want to talk about some ways that, people can really get some better sleep. Because I know you have a few different ways to share today. So we'll be right back.
Yep.
And we are back. Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. That was MUFO Entertainment, and they really know how to elevate the spirit over there, right? I was dancing in my seat. So we are back with Coach Karen Scott. We're talking about the importance of sleep. Now, we have talked about having a routine. We've talked about shutting down those electronics. We've talked about making sure that you eat earlier in the day, so, before bed, so you're not digesting late. Now we want to switch gears and get into some of the ways that you can really get that restful sleep. And Coach Karen, I'm going to let you go ahead and share some of the solutions that you have.
Okay. Well, I know we do have a few. One is called Sleep Ease, which is a natural way to go to sleep. It helps you get a restful sleep, and it's an herbal, supplements. Everything's natural. But I love one of our newer products, which is called Sleep Gummies, and you take them, a couple gummies, and 30 minutes before you go to sleep. And what it does is it not only helps you get a restful sleep, but because of the ingredients that's in them, it focuses on certain parts of your body. Like you have the phytomelatonin, that's plant-based. It helps regulate the circulatory rhythm, and it helps prepare your body for sleep. Then I think I'm saying it right, GABA powder. This is an amino acid that helps to relax your body for sleep by regulating your central nervous system and it helps to support healthy blood pressure. Chamomile, we all know what chamomile is.
Oh, yes.
The tea that does what? Relaxes you and helps provide digestive support. We just talked about that earlier about eating and how it can affect your digestion. So that's that. And the last one is L-tryptophan. That's another essential amino acid, and that helps with the stress levels that will also support our brain and health. So taking these gummies 30 minutes before you go to bed, it's just helping your body reorganize, resituate, and just bring it to a level where when you finally go to sleep, they're all doing and working in harmony to help you get that restful, stress-less sleep, all while helping the different areas of your body, like the brain, the heart, the circulatory, and the nervous system, do the same. So that's something that I've been taking, and I do feel that 30 minutes. I do feel that bringing it down. However, you still need to shut down that technology beforehand. So sleep well.
Thank you so much for sharing, Coach Karen. I think one other thing too that I want to share too, that just in the physical, I'm that one that's just always moving and stuff, right? And stretching, and doing some deep breathing exercises at night also help to really just de-stress the body.
Yes.
I mean, you're replenishing that oxygen and really being very conscious of, what you're doing. And when you're doing the conscious deep breathing exercises, when you're counting, you're actually shutting everything else out, right? So, I mean, we have so many thoughts in the day, and even at night, our thoughts are still going, when we sleep. That's why, of course, we're up and down and things like that as well. So, just getting in, a routine of, stretching, deep breathing, taking, supplement like some of the supplements that, Coach Karen went over with you, and just really finding that right routine for you. That's going to help you to really be successful in this health and wellness journey. So I'm so glad that you were able to come on today. Thank you so much, Coach Karen, for just joining us and dropping that knowledge about the importance of, having that healthy, good sleep. So is there any words of wisdom, words of encouragement you want to share with our audience today before we leave?
Yeah, the importance of sleep. Now think about this. Did you know that nearly 1 in 3 adults are not getting enough sleep? We just mentioned earlier. They all need that 6 to 8 hours. It's not only essential to our health, but if you're doing any weight management program, it's essential for that as well. So remember this: invest in rest. Get the proper sleep. Thank you for having me, and I hope and pray what's said here today will resonate with someone out there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. We hope that you gain, some knowledge on just what you need to do to get some good sleep. And we hope that you guys do put it into practice and you get those happy Z's. So take care, everyone, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.